up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
It is no secret how heavily Coach Mulkey and LSU have relied on their starters, specifically Anissa Morrow, Michaela Williams, Flau'jae Johnson, and newcomer who has been a spark plug off the bench, instant offense, Kaylin Gilbert. Now, these four score majority of the points for LSU, and they play a lot of minutes. Coach Mulkey is going with the Tom Thibodeau approach. Some are worried that maybe she's running these players into the ground, but, man, she's not sweating it. She's taking it game by game.
Play to win. You don't sit there in the middle of a game and go, oh, let me think about 10 games down the road or 12 games down the road. Hell, we in a dogfight out here. And you play to win. And I think in non-conference, they got a lot of rest. I think they got a lot of rest. I think they got enough rest. If you ask them, none of them want to come off the floor. So I didn't want to come off the floor as a player. I don't ever anticipate that being a factor. That doesn't mean if and when we lose, we're fatigued and all this stuff. I give them days off. They'll be off the next 2 days. We don't play again until Sunday. So I kind of know when to pull back and not practice too hard and how long we need to go. But we're playing to win, and I don't sit there and think about minutes played.
Looking at the minutes breakdown and the scoring, Flau'jae Johnson leads the team with 20 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.6 steals, and man, she's taking a huge step forward in year 3. She's playing 31.5 minutes, which is second on the team. Anissa Morrow plays the most minutes, and deservingly so, man. They got her listed as a guard, but she be down there leading the team in rebounds by far. She's the only player on the team. Flau'jae's second in rebounds. Anissa Morrow is the only player on the team averaging double-digit rebounds. She's averaging 18.6 points per game, 14.4 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and 2.5 steals. She's playing 32.5 minutes per game. They have nobody else that is on the glass more than these two, and it's crazy the fact that she's just doing so much dominance in the paint on the glass, man. At 6'1", pound for pound, bro, Anissa Morrow's the best rebounder in the country. You got Michaela Williams, year 2, 16.2 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, playing almost 30 minutes per game, 29.6. Look, man, I'm telling you right now, Michaela Williams' mid-range game, she's found her stroke, confidence, she's slimmed down a little bit, worked on her body, endurance is good, and she's playing the most minutes she's ever played. Kaylin Gilbert, fourth in scoring, 11.6 points. Huge game for her against Tennessee, man. She closed that one out for them, and she's definitely been the best newcomer. She's averaging 11.6 points, 3.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.3 steals. Cheyenne Day Wilson rounds out all the players playing over 20 minutes per game. She's been a steady presence at point guard for this group. Transfer as well herself, averaging 25.6 minutes per game. Not really scoring a whole lot, but she does lead the team in assists, and that's what they really need from the point guard because they got enough bucket getters, let's be clear. But she's averaging 3.7 points, 2.4 rebounds, 4.1 assists. Of course, you got Samaya Smith, who's fallen way off. Not Kaylin Gilbert, but Jersey Wolfenbarger, only 15.9 points per game. But she's had some really, really good games. And I like her possibly getting in that starting lineup next to Anissa Morrow, man. If she can be more physical, put on a little weight, and protect the paint, get those blocks up, get those rebounds up. I mean, Wolfenbarger's athletic. She can handle the ball. She can shoot it a little bit. Played most of her career on the perimeter in college, and Coach Mulkey has her down there in a new role, buried down there in the post. You still got Jada Richard, Miracle Shepherd, Laster Poa, who've contributed. Samaya Smith has contributed. The disappointments have really been Del Rosario and Bartlett, man. They played the least amount of minutes on the team, rightfully so. Not really much progression for either player this season from last. But LSU, man, I think this small ball lineup is really working. We saw it against Tennessee. We saw it against Vanderbilt. They remain undefeated. I think they are the lone undefeated team in the SEC right now at like 16-0. They've been playing really good basketball. They're elite in transition. They run. They fill the passing lanes really well. They score quick, and they don't waste any time. They will run you off the floor. Wolfenbarger, as well as Anissa Morrow, two of the best bigs at getting up and down the court. I think Coach Kim Mulkey has found the strength of this team. It took a little bit. They took a lot of hits for not playing a tough non-conference schedule, but I got to say, man, they've passed every test, and every time they have played a big team like a Tennessee, like a NC State, I think, play has elevated. They've shown up in the big games. I mean, Stanford had them against the ropes. And they go on that run with like a minute left, like a 6-0 run, and win that game in OT to stay undefeated. Like, LSU, for all the hate that they take, all the shade that people throw at them, they take everybody's best shot. And I think that they're playing their best basketball at the right time. They haven't reached their peak yet, but they're a lot better than last year, in my opinion. I think they're going to surprise some teams in the SEC that are sleeping on them. I know, of course, everything's running through South Carolina. Tennessee's talented. Texas just got embarrassed. And honestly, if we talking about it, bucket for bucket, I'm taking LSU over Texas right now, man. Texas, Madison Booker coming off her worst game in a Longhorns jersey. Rory Harmon's been good, but not at the level that she was last season before the injury. Layla Filia, the transfer, led Michigan in scoring last year, has been a bust so far on this roster, and she's battled through injuries as well. Not saying she can't turn it around, but we just have not seen the production we thought we expected when she landed at Texas. Reagan Beers, we don't know how long she's out, so Oklahoma could be done. Like, things are shaping up very, very well, very nicely for LSU. You can never count out the heart of a champion. They got national champions on this team. And then you got Coach Kim Mulkey, one of the best, one of the most fiery, and not to mention one of the best recruiters. She got a mob coming next year. So a lot of these players that are getting a free ride right now definitely will be getting replaced with some young, fresh talent next season. But LSU, shout out to Coach Kim Mulkey, getting the best out of this team. We've been on them about not having a big all season. They didn't get one in the transfer portal. She hasn't landed one in a while on the recruiting trail. And, you know, people were starting to wonder if LSU was going to take a step back. But we obviously see that, one, these starters look like they're getting stronger throughout the season. The minutes, the fatigue doesn't seem to be an issue. We'll see how they do against teams that have more depth than them, which it seems like that's the case most nights. But when you play a South Carolina, when you play a Texas, it's a little bit different depth-wise. So we'll see, you know, if their bench somebody can step up. Kaylin Gilbert has been very elite the last few games, and Coach Kim Mulkey was right when she said she felt like Kaylin Gilbert could be one of the best perimeter scorers she's ever coached. I'm on board. Wolfenbarger, they need a little bit more out of her, more consistency. Lastier Poa got to get back to playing great defense and tossing them dimes, man. Like, she's regressed a lot, but, you know, it's been not ideal start to the season for her as well, dealing with the NIL, suing the NCAA, and it was just a mess, man. But LSU has quieted out the noise. They continue to win games. They continue to pass every test. So what is there left to say at the moment? Y'all let me know in the comments. Talk to me. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share to stay up with all the latest and the greatest. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV as well. Until next time, we out.